Today I'm going to walk you through a presentation on the trends in retailing. This is what is predicted to go on in the retailing sector. This is not my presentation. It is put together by Mr. Todd Hale. He works for AC Nielsen. They are on our marketing department corporate board. He gave this presentation to us back in February of 2012. And we asked if we could include this in our classes, and he said yes, of course. So this is his presentation. It is not mine. I do have his permission to use it. There are a lot of slides here. I'm going to go through them very quickly, and then if you wish to go back through them more slowly, please do so. What the message here is that retailing is changing. It's becoming far more sophisticated, certainly much more consumer-oriented. AC Nielsen, those folks are right on top of what's going on. They do consumer behavior research, so this is the leading edge in retailing. Again, this is prepared by Todd Hale of AC Nielsen, and I do have the right to use this. This is an economic update. None of this should come as a surprise to anyone, but there are a few facts on here that are a little stunning, perhaps, that you never thought about in this way. Without doubt, given that's what has happened since, oh boy, since, this happens all the time, since 2008, so many things have happened in our economy, many things have happened to have a negative impact on the economy, and of course we know what those are. There was some research done by AC Nielsen, and they did this at the end of 2011 as to what are your major concerns with the economy or with recovery in our country. And obviously, the economy, they're afraid that's gone down a little bit, but still is concern over it. Job security, more impact on that. Debt, fuel costs, and healthcare costs. Those are the top 5 concerns. No surprise there. What retailers are trying to do is to assist consumers with some of the problems we're facing, such as the gas cards and so on, to help us with the budgets that we do or don't have. Here are some of the things that are happening with the fuel stations. Some of the companies have actually put in charging stations for electric cars. This costs them a lot. Filling up other tanks, so that some companies are co-oping. Here you have MasterCard and Kellogg's working together to try to help consumers. The problem facing many retailers is this polarization of the consumers. We have smaller segments, more polarized. This is clearly a situation with wealth in the country. 1/5 of the United States residents have exited the recession. Now remember, this is 2012. The rest have not. In other words, the have, and the have-not still have not. Obviously, you spend more as you have greater spending power. This is a little frightening to me. 1 in 7 Americans rely on food stamps. 1 in 2 Americans own stock. Of the 87% of Americans earning over $75,000 own stocks, 15% of our households earn less than $20,000 a year. The median household income has been on the downslide for a decade. If you look at these numbers, look what happens in 2008. We had an increase in 5, 6, and 7. In 2008, the recession hit, and look how we've lost earning power. 1 in 2 people are poor or low income. Now, think about how this impacts retailers. That's huge. This is what some of the manufacturers, along with retailers, are trying to do. They're trying to get larger products, family-sized products, more affordable quality, even more affordable packaging so it doesn't cost the companies as much. Here are some of your types of stores, types of retail stores. And if you, these are same store sales across different quarters. And if you look, the discretionary spending, value and convenience, and stock up and save, these how they're categorized. The companies losing clearly are JCPenney's, even with all their advertising they've been doing, Walgreens, Kmart, and Super Value. Whole Foods seems to be the big winner here. Notice that Walmart is not particularly high here. It's I don't see Aldi on here, but Aldi seems to be the grocer that customers like. For the most part, Whole Foods is really winning. Buying trends. Look at what we've increased on buying. Oh dear. Alcoholic beverages, health and beauty aids, and at least fresh produce is on there. Look at what we're buying less of. A lot more. But alcoholic beverages is right there on top. Tells you what a recession does. Store brands are doing better, probably because they cost less. Consumers did pick, and it's too bad they're not back on that slide, Aldi as their low price leader. And that should surprise some. I bet most people have never even been to an Aldi. I think this probably says it all. This is the bottom line. Value is not about price. And I've been telling you that now for our entire class. It's about the balance between price and benefits. And absolutely positively that is true. People do not buy on features. They do not just buy on price. They buy on what the product does for them. Retail trends. Value, 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 convenience, convenience, convenience. Look at what's happening with the convenience. Huge, monstrous increase. Toys R Us, the mobile apps they're using, 160 stores. Toys R Us for the holidays. Outlet malls, look at we got our Cincinnati Premium Outlets. Now remember, AC Nielsen is in Northern Kentucky, so they would have this on there. Outlet malls are a big deal. A lot of us going there now, and they're becoming a little more upscale. The social network for food. Look at cookbook sales. What is that about? Increase by 10%, while total book sales are down 6%. Look at the Food Network. Wow. Food Fight. A lot of different formats for grocery stores now. Look at some of the stores we have. Look at what Kroger's has done. Look at Dorothy Lane Market. Just look at what's going on with our grocery stores. And how about Theater of Food? Go to some of our theaters now. They have a lot of different types of food. They even have the concierge in some of the bigger theaters so that they can deliver food to you. Fast food hamburger joints. Hamburger restaurants are trying to become a little more upscale. Look at Smashburger and places like that. Now remember, we have a video on Smashburger for the class, so tying this all together. And certainly campuses have, I hope, most of them have increased the eating experience for the students and faculty and staff on campus. Rate State's student dining in the student union has won multiple awards. Retailers are partnering with restaurants. Look at how many restaurants you now see inside retailer stores. And go to Kroger's and you can outfit your whole home. Isn't that special? Special. Apple to open store within a store. So you're going to see more and more Apple mini stores within larger stores. Target, you're having boutiques within stores, so you have things a little more upscale within your more convenient, lower priced retailers. Health and beauty aids, remember that. Now we just saw the increase in alcohol and health and beauty aids with the economy. And many of the drugstores and well, here we've got Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid are all trying to improve the atmosphere for those health and beauty aids. Dollar store. Boy, I wish I had some stock in those folks a few years ago. Wow. Looking for more branding and looking for more traditional retail atmosphere. They have price points and different promotions going on and doing a lot more known brands. Dollar General is adding a lot of stores, meaning a lot of new jobs and so on and so forth. And realize what that means. That means we're spending more money in more downscale retail outlets. Family Dollar, also exploding in number of stores they have. Convenience, convenience, convenience. Here we go. 1927, we had the very first 7-Eleven. 9,100 stores now in North America, almost 45,000. Probably by now they do have 45,000 in 16 countries. Pretty amazing, huh? Store branding trends. Store brands as opposed to known brands are going way up, probably because they're lower in price. 93 billion store brand sales, that's up 23%, while national known brands, accepted brands, top brands grew only 4%. CVS has introduced their new own brand, the B, just the basics. I believe Kroger has just also started a brand of their own. Simple, isn't that? I think that's what it is. Media and communications, well, we know that's exploding. Online newspapers, probably going to see even quicker decline in actual paper newspapers. You're going to see the online readership increase. ShopRite, a lot of cooking things going on, things on YouTube. The QR codes. Now that's something very, very new, very, very different. We have a lot of research going on in this area, but many, many consumers have really little knowledge of this. But the ones who do, boy, is it being used a lot. It's just exploding on utilization. And Procter & Gamble is using new things for dads. Now this is completely different for Procter & Gamble. P&G has traditionally targeted just females for all of their products. Now they're going to start looking at men for targeting things and doing things a little more high-tech. I love this. Web and mortar scavenger hunt in LA, but you had to have a mobile device to do it. How cool is that? iPad. It's becoming a sales tool for restaurants. I've been in several restaurants now where you actually do your ordering on the iPad. I was in Naples December of 2012, and many of those stores had iPads. Lowe's, Home Depot, boy, you better have those mobile devices. I was just in Michael's craft shop last night, and I used my iPhone to get a discount. How about that? Scan it. Go in with the store, be able to use to scan things. They spend more money. So I would say this Scan It system is something for all retailers to consider. Walmart has its first iPad app. Now, of course, remember this was 2012. And is improving its smartphone app. I love this. Wish I'd seen this. Nestle launches a TV ad that only dogs can hear. How cool is that? Now, this was in Germany, but I think we ought to go find out if we can find that somewhere. How cool. Next, we have to have one for my cats. The growth majority, yeah. Multicultural engagements. If companies are not considering other races, ethnicities, they're going to really be missing out. Certainly in our larger metropolitan areas, but not just there. We now have what we call the majority-minority populations. Asians, Hispanics growing tremendously. African Americans growing also. Look at what we're doing with the products now. Look in almost any store and you see not necessarily sections for different ethnic groups, but within the actual general population of products, you're going to see things for different ethnic groups. Winn-Dixie, a bilingual decor, made to order Cuban food. Now this is in Miami, but you're going to see this spreading throughout the country. When I was in Naples again, there was a store that was focused only on Spanish-speaking consumers, and I went in there. It was fascinating. Hormel Foods, Megamex Foods, all the flavors of Mexico. Macy's, Latina Magazine, Hispanic Scholarship Fund. Website looks at the power of the African American consumer. Indeed. 13% of the population have $957 billion in buying power. Aging consumers. Here I am. I knew we'd get to me sooner or later. AARP redefines their audience. retailer focuses on seniors. Yeah, remember, we're the ones that are wealthier, better educated, and really healthier than any generations who have aged before us. So it is a big deal to focus on different products for us. Now, when I really can't get out and about, call in service so that you can actually call up and have products delivered. Peapod was a grocery store that did this several years ago. This is not new. It's just more broad-based. Portion sizes for 1 or 2. Clearly, there are going to be many, many more elderly, aging consumers with one person in the household. Grandparents, wow, boy, can they spend money on grandkids, especially my generation. U.S. grandparent population will grow by 11%, from 69.6 million in 2010 to 77.1 million in 2015. And if companies aren't focusing on grandparents, they are crazy. And that's it for retailing. Again, we went through that very quickly, but it is the latest and greatest, certainly more current than we can have in any textbook. So I do hope that you learned something from that, and I'll be back. If you need me, call, email, or chat.